a lot of our personality and how we operate in the world, what we think about ourselves, all of these things really are established when we're young. And, some people use the statistic, before you're 7, but I think it's an ongoing process in life. But certainly a lot of it gets established early on.
I felt like mine was a bit later, but I guess a lot of it's subconscious, so you don't really think about it. But when I was looking back, I was like, were my ideas of money formed before I was 7? I was like but you can't really remember much before you're 7, so kind of hard to tell.
I think a lot of ideas about yourself in the world are formed before then or early in childhood, I would say. I think 7 is a bit of an arbitrary number. Yeah. But so, think about it. Your interaction with your parents will shape who you become. If they look at you and smile and interact with you, you'll grow up with a sense that you're lovable, you're good enough. And so you'll approach the world that way. And if on the other hand, you had parents who were really critical or maybe absent or always said no to you, then that will shape your sense of agency, right? So how are you going to walk into a salary negotiation as an adult with a sense that people say yes to you if your whole life you grew up hearing no, you can't have this, you can't have that? And so I think in that way, it's those experiences. What do we expect from others? What do we expect from the world? How will people respond to us? That really shape what we do as adults, how confidently we go out there and ask for money or start a business and so on.
But you also think that events later in life can shape our financial beliefs. It's not like 7 and done. No doubt. Later as well. I mean, I've seen people who maybe have been bullied in secondary school and that left them with this, it was a traumatic experience. It left them with a longing to fit in when they grow up in life. And so, fast forward 20 years later, they buy all these clothes because in every group, in every circumstance, in every job, they have to dress the part. They have to feel that they belong. Otherwise, the anxieties from back then, from those experiences, bubble up and feel unbearable. And that's their way of coping with that.
I felt that my work life changed my perception of money. When I was a broker, I think when I graduated my first university, and I was working in Liverpool Street in the city as a commodity broker, and they were all about carry a money clip so you always have cash, and then they want you to spend your cash and stretch yourself so that you do more deals. You keep selling, and then they would have a guy who came in every week and he would measure people for suits. And so like the top brokers would always be getting like a new suit every week, bring all the materials. And you're like, oh, when I joined, I'm like, I want a custom made suit. So then I did some deals, I made some money. I was like, oh, broker, suit guy, come to me, Taylor, come and do me a suit. So he did me a suit, and they always expect you to spend money. And then also, when you're talking to clients, you have to ask for money, which is in England, very taboo. We don't really talk about money, let alone say, how much do you have in your ISA? How much do you have in the stock market? Do you want to invest some in commodities? Our minimum is £10,000. And just the process of saying, give me your money is like, it took like a while to learn. But then I feel like it changed my whole aspect of my outlook on money. And it's like, okay, spend, like the more you spend, the harder you work, and then stretch yourself so that you always, next month you'll be fine because you'll do another deal. So it's always like they kind of institutionalized us to always be not broke, but stretched and like get a bigger house, get a bigger car, buying more suits. So I feel like, and that was quite late in my life.
Well, and as you're talking about this and reflecting on the experience, you're aware of maybe both the pros and the cons of that experience. So it made you more comfortable talking about money, which is an important life skill, right? But the downside was that maybe, it was an environment that felt really competitive when it came to spending, and it pushed you in a direction that then became uncomfortable. And
be on the tube and say, I bet you that person gets off at the next stop before that person, 20 quid, and they'd just be betting on like who's going to get off the train. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
This is a clip from our episode with psychotherapist Vicky Raynor.
If you want to watch the full episode, you just click right here.